With the recent update to one of Apple's best-selling mobile computers, does the new 2013 MacBook Air really warrant an upgrade? Let's take a closer look. Welcome to Ifty's Tech Corner, where today we are taking a look at the 2013 Intel Haswell-based MacBook Air. Apple's 2013 MacBook Air looks identical to the 2012 MacBook Air, so what's different about this new model? Inside is where Apple has been busy, swapping Intel Ivy Bridge chips for the new 4th generation Intel Core Haswell processor. The Haswell MacBook Air's big news is much longer battery life, as well as improved wireless network based on the 802.11ac wireless standard, better graphics via the integrated Intel HD 5000 graphics chip, and energy efficiency improvements. Now, the promise of super long battery life is going to be the saving of the laptop under intense threat from Apple's own iPad tablet. I have the max spec 11-inch model here, sporting an Intel i7 processor along with a full whack 8GB of RAM and 512GB SSD. Let's take a look inside the box. So, taking a look inside the usually well padded Apple box here, we have the MacBook Air itself on top of the box, as we can see here. If I place the unit to one side for just a second here, if we have a look inside the box, we'll see that we have the usual accessories. You've got your manuals, your stickers and your user guide and so on in this package here. You've got the actual power adapter with the extension cable and your plug socket adapter here. So pretty standard accessories in the box. Now put the 2013 MacBook Air next to the last 3 iterations of Apple's slimline wonder and you need a super keen eye to spot any differences. In fact, the only external change since the MacBook Air 2012 is the array of dual microphones on the left flank, replacing the single mic. Everything else is exactly the same. Unibody aluminum construction, FaceTime HD camera, Thunderbolt port, USB 3 ports on each side, MagSafe 2 power connector, even the weight 1.08 kilos. But this is no bad thing. The 11-inch MacBook Air remains a pinnacle of laptop design, sporting a full-size keyboard yet being light enough to carry around all day, slimmer than a copy of your favourite magazine and swanking a footprint not much bigger than an iPad. The 13-inch model is only slightly larger with the 13-inch screen and the addition of the SD card slot. However, to see what's really changed, we need to go under the bonnet. Before we get into what's new, I'll just come out and say it. Where was that Retina screen upgrade? Okay, so battery life performance could be compromised by such a potentially energy-zapping display, but the inclusion of Intel's new Haswell chip with its low power tendencies should have been a match for any jump in screen drain. Nevertheless, standout improvements here are Apple's claimed all-day 12-hour battery life for the 13-inch model and 9 hours for this 11-inch model, Intel's 4th gen Intel HD Graphics 5000, faster LPDDR3 RAM, 2 USB 3 ports and the latest 802.11ac Wi-Fi adapter, all of which we've seen on various Windows-based laptops in the past. The mentioned dual mic technology is also nothing new to the world of laptops, but it's a welcome addition to the new MacBook Air line. This MacBook Air comes with OS X mounting line rather than the impending Mavericks, expected later this year. As for backlit keys, Bluetooth 4, iLife, stereo speakers and ambient light sensors, they're all correct and present on this latest iteration. An SDXC card slot only appears on the 13-inch version however, and Ethernet lovers will still have to purchase a USB adapter for around £25. All MacBook Air models run on the 1.3 GHz dual-core Intel Core i5 processor with turbo boost up to 2.6 GHz. You can upgrade this at point of purchase though, which is what I've done here, to a 1.7 GHz Intel dual-core i7 with turbo boost up to 3.3 GHz. Now, hyper-threading is supported on the processors, allowing multi-threaded applications to address 4 virtual processing cores on these dual-core systems. Talking of RAM, we have 4 GB of 1600 MHz LPDDR3 memory as standard on all models. You can boost this to 8 GB for a little extra cash though. While 4 GB might be enough for most, if you can afford the extra, then doing so on purchase is wise as you can't upgrade later. The memory is not a user upgradable part. Moving on to storage, Apple claims that its latest flash storage is 45% faster than the previous generation MacBook Air due to it being based on the PCI Express architecture. In my real-world testing, although read and write speeds were seriously impressive, I'd say performance times were slashed by milliseconds rather than seconds in normal everyday usage, but it's definitely faster to wake after flipping the lid open from standby. The brace of USB 3 ports also offers much faster file transfer, ramping up speeds to a theoretical 5 gigabits per second. In practice though, it owns USB 2, with Thunderbolt zooming along even faster. You just need the peripherals to match. Graphically, Apple claims the new Intel HD Graphics 5000 can push polygons 40% faster than the previous Intel HD 4000. I tested a variety of HD video content up to 1080p and games to find a slightly smoother experience than before, but not wildly different from what we've been used to for the last year. The most noticeable improvement with this version of the Air was with its Wi-Fi capability. To reap the benefits of this, you'll need a compatible router, but running 802.11ac standard and using the new 802.11ac beamforming toting Airport Extreme or this Airport time capsule I have here, I experienced a much more stable, quicker wireless connection at longer distances than the previous gen MacBook Air. All in all, put alongside a similarly priced 13-inch MacBook Pro, and most users probably won't see a performance difference, apart from the Retina screen obviously, which is remarkable considering the MacBook Air's size. It also seems to run a bit cooler than the last generation MacBook Air. As mentioned, the 11.6-inch LED backlit 16:9 1366x768 res screen hasn't changed since 2010, but the graphics have. The Intel HD Graphics 5000 can support dual display resolutions and mirroring to an Apple TV. Pumped all the way up, brightness copes with all but nuclear light conditions, and colours are rich. It lacks the crispness and vivaciousness of the Retina screen we're all becoming used to though. With iOS's colorific design appearing on iPhones and iPads in the next few months, the MacBook Air screen might look even more flat. Viewing angles are what they were, not bad for such a small laptop, but only really designed for one person straight-on use. At the WWDC 2013 keynote, the MacBook Air's main feature upgrade was centered around battery life. Having a decent tank for most of the day will be essential for those who require a portable laptop lifestyle, so to hear Apple announce the new models with capacity to run for an entire day before needing a rejuice was impressive. The new MacBook Air is designed for power savings and boasts more energy-efficient Intel Core i5 and Core i7 CPUs. These chips have a slower clock speed to save energy, but can still deliver 40% faster graphics performance, claims Apple, and our speed tests prove that there is no overall loss in performance. Apple says that the 11-inch model here can now last for 9 hours as opposed to 5, with 8 hours iTunes playback. With my use, I managed to achieve around 8 hours of casual use, which is web browsing, emailing, typing and so on, and just over 6 hours movie playback. Apple has enhanced the Air's low power settings too. The new MacBook Air can be left on standby for up to 30 days, and Apple says it will still wake up in 1 second, fast enough for even the most impatient road warrior. Of course, a multitude of factors will influence these figures. Up the ante in terms of screen brightness, device charging, wireless connection, visually demanding websites and applications, and the power will drain much quicker. But it's still formidable for a laptop of this size and power as a portable work tool or powerless companion to a long flight or commute. It's still at the top of its game. Little I've seen compares to it. Apple clearly knows not to mess with a good thing, and much about the Air is unchanged. This 2013 model shares the same little featherweight chassis as its predecessors, which is fine because honestly if it was any thinner it would be a safety hazard. The keyboard and the trackpad are still exemplary, the best in the industry. So what we've got now is a proven winner of a machine, a super slim laptop with respectable processing chips that's seen some welcome enhancements, the most significant of which is truly stellar battery life. It's a great option for almost anybody who needs a portable computer, especially students and professionals who travel or carry their machines on their commute. It's still probably not the best choice for anyone doing serious heavy-duty visual media production, they'll want the MacBook Pro. But for the rest of us, the MacBook Air is as close to perfection as a consumer notebook gets. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments below. In the meantime, why not check out my channel for any related videos and click the logo above to subscribe and be informed of when my next video is released. See you next time on IFTY's Tech Corner.